Guess who's back from the dead, folks? Ah! Good morning or good evening to you all. Just TY here, back in the flesh this time, with something more different than my other videos. Seriously, my whole existence is just posting Fire Emblem videos, then disappearing for months. That's basically what it's boiled down to. For a little backstory, outside of YouTube, I've actually gone into archery. Within years of experience, I've learned a great deal of knowledge about the sport thanks to a great coach and a great local community to help support me. With that being said, in order to get back into the creative flow of things without burning myself out and leaving for 5 months again, I felt I would like to do something different. So, in this video, I'll be giving you a step-by-step guide on how to safely string a bow for use. This is just TY editing the video here. Just want to make everyone aware that the rest of this video is being recorded on a different day, so I will be dressed differently than I was a minute ago. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to say. Back to the video. Of course, the first thing needed is a bow to string, which their prices can vary depending on the quality of parts and the type of bow you want. I'm just using my recurve here as an example. Parts are available in many different storefronts, but a dedicated archery shop in your area is best. You also need a string in itself to put on the bow to knock arrows to, or you can make them yourself. In both options roughly cost $10 to $20 to do so. Once you have a bow you want to string, what you also need is a bow stringer. These usually cost within the $10 to $20 range, same as a string, and it's what allows you to string a bow in the safest way possible. Once you have the necessities, you're basically ready to go. I'll move through each step in order. The first step is to make sure your bow is assembled before stringing. I feel like this is obvious, but I'd like to make the point that your bow needs to be assembled before you can even start stringing it. The limbs need to be attached to the base, and the string itself needs to be hooked to the limbs. Of course, when you get parts for a bow, if you look on the bottom of them, where they should connect to the base, they should have assigned text for which limb goes on the bottom and which limb goes on the top. As for how I like to prep it before stringing it, I like to have the bottom limb have it neatly sit in the groove of the bottom one, while having the top one dragged through and down the top limb like this. Now it's time for step 2, where we actually get to stringing the bow. If we take our bow stringer here, you'll see it has 2 plastic pieces at the end of each side, a bigger one and a smaller one. We'll start with the bigger one. We place the bigger one on the bottom limb, like so. And as you would guess, this means the short one goes on the top limb. Hold on a sec, I have it twisted. I have it wrapped around the wrong way. There we are. Fixed it. We're good to go. There we go. It's attached to the top limb, and it's attached to the bottom limb. And now it's the part in the video you actually skipped for, and we're gonna try and do this all in one take. Alright, first and foremost of step 3, make sure you actually have space in the room to do this, or wherever you are. You need to make sure you actually have space around you not undo anything we just did. Or worse. Next, when you actually have that space, you take both your feet, and you put both of them in the center of the bowstringer string, not the actual bowstring. We don't want to pull both and actually break it. That'd be really stupid. Then you face towards your top limb. You look towards your top limb, and you pull up. Alright, pulling up won't break your bow. They're meant to withstand this type of friction. And then you slide your top string into the. Then you slide your top string into the top limb's groove, like this. Once it's attached, when you let go, should be straight, like this. Should be all nice and straight. But as a safety precaution, always turn it around before you take the bowstringer off. Turn the bow around and check if the string is actually attached to the limb. If it's not, try and put it back into place or immediately de-string it and try again. If it's all attached and everything looks in place, you can slowly take off the bowstringer. As you can see, it is attached on the top limb. And if we go to the bottom one, yep. And that is all. Would you look at that? We have a completely stringed bow. And now, if you wanted to string it, you can just do the same. You can just do the same process of using the bowstringer. You put the bottom one. You put the bigger piece on the bottom, smaller piece on the top. Do the same steps as step 3, but then slide the string on the top limb down, which will immediately release all the tension. I shall now de-string it without commentary. And there you go, destrung. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is it. And I'm probably just gonna disappear for another 6 months. And you know what's the funniest part? You can't stop me! See you later, chumps! I'm of course joking. Expect Fire Emblem Binding Blade Chapter 5 sometime next 2 weeks or a month.